The wedding day reckoning. It was supposed to be the happiest day of Emily's life. The sun shone brightly over the picturesque countryside venue, where white roses and twinkling lights adorned the gazebo. Guests gathered, champagne flutes in hand, buzzing with excitement for the union of Emily and her fiancé, Daniel. But beneath the surface of this perfect day lay a secret, one that would unravel in the most dramatic fashion. Emily had always been the life of the party. Charming, beautiful, and effortlessly charismatic, she had a way of making everyone feel special. Daniel, a kind-hearted and hard-working man, had fallen for her instantly. He adored her, believing she was his soulmate. But Emily had a flaw, one she thought she could keep hidden forever. She was a serial cheater. Throughout their 3-year relationship, Emily had been unfaithful multiple times. She justified her actions to herself, claiming she was exploring her options or that Daniel was too boring to satisfy her adventurous spirit. She never imagined her past would catch up to her, especially not on her wedding day. The best man's secret. Enter Jake, Daniel's best friend and the best man at the wedding. Jake had always been suspicious of Emily. He'd noticed her flirtatious behavior at parties and the way she'd disappear for hours without explanation. But it wasn't until a few weeks before the wedding that Jake stumbled upon the truth. One evening, while helping Daniel set up his new laptop, Jake accidentally discovered a folder of incriminating photos and messages. Emily had been careless, leaving evidence of her affairs on Daniel's old devices. Jake was torn. Should he tell Daniel and risk ruining the wedding? Or should he stay silent and let his best friend marry a woman who didn't deserve him? After much deliberation, Jake decided to confront Emily. He hoped she would come clean to Daniel herself. But Emily laughed in his face, dismissing his concerns and threatening to turn Daniel against him if he interfered. Jake realized then that Emily had no intention of changing. She was selfish to the core. The wedding ceremony began with a soft melody played by a string quartet. Emily walked down the aisle, radiant in her lace gown, her eyes locked on Daniel's. He stood at the altar, beaming with love and anticipation. The officiant began the vows, and the crowd leaned in, eager to witness the heartfelt exchange. But just as Emily was about to say adieu, Jake stood up. "Wait," he shouted, his voice cutting through the silence. All eyes turned to him as he walked to the front, holding a USB drive. "Daniel, before you make the biggest mistake of your life, you need to see this." Emily's face turned pale. "Jake, don't you dare," she hissed. But it was too late. Daniel, confused but trusting his best friend, took the USB drive and plugged it into the venue's projector. The screen behind the altar lit up with photos of Emily kissing other men, along with screenshots of explicit messages. Gasps filled the room. Daniel's hands trembled as he scrolled through the evidence. He turned to Emily, his heartbreak evident. "Is this true?" he asked, his voice barely above a whisper. Emily stammered, trying to deny it, but the truth was undeniable. One by one, guests began to stand up, sharing their own stories of Emily's infidelity. It turned out that her secrets were an open secret among many. The aftermath. The wedding was called off, and Emily fled the venue in tears, her reputation in tatters. Daniel, though devastated, was grateful to Jake for saving him from a lifetime of lies. The guests, once there to celebrate, left with a sobering reminder of the importance of honesty and integrity in relationships. In the weeks that followed, Daniel focused on healing. He realized that Emily's betrayal had less to do with him and more to do with her own insecurities and selfishness. Meanwhile, Emily's life spiraled. She lost friends, her job, and the trust of everyone who once cared about her. The lesson, the story of Emily and Daniel, serves as a cautionary tale. Cheating doesn't just hurt the person being betrayed, it destroys the cheater's character and relationships. Trust is the foundation of any relationship, and once it's broken, it's nearly impossible to rebuild. For those who have been betrayed, the story is a reminder that self-respect is paramount. Staying in a relationship with someone who doesn't value you is never worth it. And for those tempted to cheat, it's a warning that the truth always comes to light, often at the worst possible moment.